Hey everyone, welcome to Vets to P.S.C. This is going to be my first walkthrough. So I'm going to teach you guys today how to apply for one of the WPS PSS contracts. WPS meaning Worldwide Protective Services, which is now we're currently on WIPS 2. All right, and then PSS stands for Protective Security Specialist. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start off by opening a browser of your choosing, whether it's Google, Yahoo, Bing, whatever it may be. All right, and one of the companies that we're going to search for is we're going to go ahead and apply for GardaWorld Federal Services. All right, this is just going to be for today. Now, when you apply for all the companies, the concept is all the same across the board. When I say all the companies, I mean all the ones that are doing the whips. For example, you've got SON, you've got GardaWorld Federal Services, you've got Castellas, things like that. So, all right. So we're going to come down here and we're going to go to the one that says garda-federal.com. All right, so we're going to click on that. All right, so guys, just a little bit of background about myself and why I chose GardaWorld as my first starting video. That was the last contract that I was on. It's a great gig. It's a great starter gig. I've put a lot of my buddies, a lot of my former teammates, guys that I served with when I was in the regular Army, and I ended up putting them onto this company. Now they're actually shift leaders, or they're firearms instructors, things like that, just because they qualify for those positions. But this is one of those companies where, my buddy made fun of it. He was just like, "Oh, you working for GardaWorld, man? That's like the Walmart, dude. You're going to get all kinds of schools with them." And I was like, "Hey, man, it is what it is, But they were absolutely right. I left the contract that I was previously on to jump on board with GardaWorld because they offered me a BFOC slot, which was Basic Field Firearms Officers course. And that course was one that I've been after for 2.5 years. My first contracting gig, I applied for it. They kind of screwed me over on that. Ever since that, I kind of got a bad taste for that company. I'm not going to mention that. And I haven't worked the whips world after that. Everything's been, OGA contracts or supporting special operations in some sort of contracting capacity. But then I ended up getting back into the WPS world just because the money was pretty decent for that ITI position that I had within GardaWorld. A lot of guys, I'm going to give you guys the realness, man. A lot of guys end up not liking the position, and I attribute it to being complacent. At first you get these guys that, they're hurting for money. They got out of the military. They can't get a job that they like. They're barely scraping by, maybe making anywhere from 30 to 45,000 a year. And that's not scraping by, but they just feel like, man, I've done all this stuff and now I'm working a job that I hate and I'm having to work overtime to make additional money. It's like, I want to get into contracting. I want to make some decent amount of money, So then they come on board and they start contracting. And next thing you know, they're there for a couple months and they're like, man, this sucks. And, oh, I can't do anything and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting in the back of a truck and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yes, you're sitting in the back of a truck for 12 hours a day, but you're making 6 figures a year. Go back home and work a shitty job that you hate for pennies and have to do overtime, which is more than 12 hours a day, or you can sit in the back of a truck and make 6 figures a year, So that's the way you got to come at this, guys. Contracting, this isn't going to be I'm going to do this for life and this is a career. No, this is a get in, make that money, invest that money, and get out. That's what this is. All right, so with that being said, GardaWorld is a great first starter. If you're a conventional forces guy, if you're a SWAT team guy, for the police force, if you are an MP or security forces, this is where you want to start off. All right, so go ahead and click on the careers tab. All right, so the position that we're looking for right now for all of those that I mentioned before, again, the infantry guys, the MPs, the security forces, the SWAT team personnel, things like that. All right, that position, now that's just for the basic. Now, if you have sniper, if you have things like that, okay, now we're getting into the specialized field, designated defensive marksman. That is their snipers, okay? So now you can apply for that. Obviously, the more specialized you are, the more money that you're going to end up making, per day, according to your skill sets, all right? So right now we're talking about the bare, not the bare minimum, but the guy that just did the, regular infantry time, did his 4 years and got out, or could have did 20 years in the infantry, did his time and got out. So here we go, guys. Protective Security Specialist, ERT. So the ERT stands for Emergency Response Team. Okay. So that's what the position entails. They're going to give you an overview of what the position is. Then they're going to give you the essential functions of the position. All right. The ones that we're going to focus on right now are these two bullets. All right. This is what tells you if you qualify or not, or the determining factor of whether you should apply or not. You don't want to waste your time. You don't want to get your hopes up. So, for example, the first bullet. All right. The contract requires you to be a U.S. citizen. All right. Must be able to obtain and maintain a secret level security clearance. Now, a lot of you guys are like, yeah, I got that. All right. Well, you know what? You may have that. Good for you. Hey, if you've got it, that's one less step that you have to take, and it puts you one step ahead of everyone else. The problem that we're having right now is if you're coming from the military, and you do have a clearance, you most likely have a clearance from the DoD. These contracts are DOS, Department of State contracts. So you have to reapply for a Department of State secret clearance. So the reason I stress that is because, all right, if you've been out of the military for a while, and let's say you've been in the civilian world, and I'm not saying this is everyone, but this is majority of the times, every time I get a phone call from one of my buddies that I serve with, it's like, hey, Ken, dude, I know you're contracting, I see your Facebook, your Instagram, like people are talking, you're doing great, hey man, how do I get into contracting? And I'm like, okay, not a problem. Talk to me, send me your resume, send me your DD-214, let me see what you got, let me try to place you onto something. All right. But a lot of the times that I'm seeing is these guys have waited so long, or, they ended up getting a divorce. Something happened in their life where now they have bad credit, or their life just fell apart, and, they've gotten an arrest or a DUI or something like that. If you get a DUI, good luck. It's going to be extremely hard. I'm not going to say you're not going to get it, but man, it's just like in the military now. You get a DUI, you're going to be hurting. So, but it's more of a financial aspect, because with these security clearances, you can't look like a liability. They don't want to see someone that's hurting financially. That, let's say someone was to bump them for information or try to recruit them, to spy or whatever it is that maybe do, you can't be bought. So they want to see that you have a good, clean record. You're doing great for yourself, and you're not going to switch on America just for a couple bucks. So with that being said, DOS secret clearance. All right. Now we've got 3 years of experience, in which 1 year of the 3 shall include experience in protective security assignments. All right. So experience can be gained in the employ of any national, state/province, local, or commercial entities that provide high threat protective services. All right, guys. So this bullet is very important because I've given before. I've given my buddies a link to the page and be like, oh yeah, man, just go to the career section, apply for the PSS ERT position, read the requirements and all that stuff. And if you qualify, go ahead and apply. So then these guys hit me up and they're like, man, Ken, I only did 1 year. I mean, I did 4 years. I did one of those years in combat, but I never did any protective security assignments. And I'm like, slow down, Chief. Yes, you did. All right. You remember that one time where we freaking were convoying the, I don't know, whatever, the milk truck all the way to whatever. And next thing you know, hey, you were doing protective security operations. How about every time the commander wanted to sit down and drink chai, and we had, and talk to one of the key village elders or whoever, and next thing you know, we had to form a perimeter outside and put snipers on the rooftops and position the vehicles and all that. I was like, those are protective security assignments. Those are protective security details. You've done this in combat. Hey, 2003, 2004, whenever we had to do the Iraqi elections, what were we doing in the poll sites? Well, regarding the poll sites, yeah, exactly. That is a protective security assignment. So that is stuff that you can go ahead, that you've done, you have in your background, that you could put in your bio and you can get approved. So, if you've got 1 year verifiable combat experience and you've done some operations, I'm telling you right now, you've probably done protective security assignments. All right, guys. So that right there qualifies you. Now, obtain and maintain weapons qualification. That's easy. You're going to do all that during training, and you're going to do that quarterly while you are working in your contracting job. And then must successfully pass all required courses specified by the client. Again, you're going to do all of that while you're doing training, and then any additional training that you have to do, the company will fly you back to the US, undergo the training. You either get shipped back home, or the company likes to try to go ahead and have you do the training, and then right after that go on leave. And then after you go on leave, go straight to where you're supposed to be going. All right, guys. So don't worry about the knowledge and skills and abilities and all that. You're good to go. Just make sure that you are able to occasionally lift or move up to 50 pounds. All right. Also, that you can climb or balance and stoop, kneel, crouch, or crawl. All right. If you can't do any of these things, these deficiencies are going to be spotted during the training. You're going to have to low crawl. You're going to have to do dynamic movements. You're going to have to do individual movement techniques. The same thing you did in your combat MOS, you're going to be doing here. All right. The reason you're getting hired onto these positions is because you have that knowledge and that background. So you are a professional. You know, that's why they're hiring you. That's why you're getting paid the money that you're getting paid. All right. So if you can't do any of these things, guys, do yourself a favor. Don't tie it up. Don't send yourself to a school. And the next thing you know, you're tying up a slot for some guy that is qualified that could have went to that slot. But instead you took it knowing that your knee dislocates every 3 steps you take. The next thing you know, you got dropped from the course. And you just screwed that guy out of a couple months worth of work and going overseas. You know, don't be selfish. So if you qualify, guys, go ahead and scroll down to the bottom, click apply. All right. So this is where we get to the basic. All right. So we're going to enter our name, first name, last name. Enter your phone number. Click continue. So now it's going to send an email. And what you're going to do is you're going to open up your email. Now, guys, when you open up your email, make sure that you check your spam and your trash folders, because you never know, it can go through there. So once you copy that information, go ahead and go back to the recruitment page, paste it, click enter or verify. All right, gentlemen. So ladies, sorry. It'll take you to personal information. So applying for Protective Security Specialist ERT. All right, guys. So this is just basic information, nothing crazy, nothing out of the ordinary. They're not going to ask anything crazy. All you're doing here is just filling out your information so that they can contact you. And also uploading your resume. All right. So from here, the recruiter is going to look at your resume and see, okay, whether this guy has, or female, has the qualifications that they were looking for. From there, you'll probably end up getting an email later on requesting DD-214s, depending on the job that you want to get. If you contracted before and you have WIPS experience and you want to go for firearms instructor, simulator instructor, integrations and training instructor, training manager, things like that, then they're going to ask for ERB to verify your background along with your DD-214s and your resume. So things has changed a little bit more. Back in the day, guys can fluff their resume up and whatever. Like now, State Department wants to see verifications of your actual experience, which is awesome because it gets rid of the riffraff. Let's put it that way. All right, so we uploaded the resume. You can go ahead and put a cover letter, work samples, transcripts, and certifications. I've contracted before, so what I would do here is I would actually put my latest and greatest certifications. So right now, the WIPS 2, WPS 2 training just came out earlier this year. So I've got the certification for that. I've got Basic Field Firearms Officers course, which is a BFOC course, which allows you to become a firearms instructor in the WIPS world. So I've got that. I throw that in there. Throw in things that pertain to that job. If you have any basic lifesaver skill certifications, go ahead and throw that on there. Throw the certifications that they possibly are going to be looking for to put you on top of the stack, make you more marketable. Guys, you have to realize that no crap. This is a job interview, and the job interview starts right now. You're putting in your application. The second they send you that email, that job interview begins. Okay? You can't follow instructions. That's failure to follow instructions. Things like that. Now, with the WIPS world, they're not very strict on that. But now when you start going into the OGA contracts and all the sexy contracts, if you don't get things done within a certain time period, you're freaking cut. or if you can't follow instructions, hey, they'll cut you, because there's not a lot of guys that qualify for those positions, but at the same time, they want quality applicants. So, just go ahead and apply those same principles to this. This is a job interview. Treat it as such. Okay. Do you have at least 12 months of high threat protective security experience, i.e. combat deployments or SWAT team? If you do, go ahead and click yes. If prior military, did you hold a combat arms MOS? Hopefully you're applying for this because you qualified for it, so yes. Annual salary, I would usually put anywhere from I put anywhere from 85 to 95,000, and the reason being is I know you guys are like, man, I thought contractors make 6 figures a year. Well, they kind of do, but you also got to take into consideration the uplifts that come with that. So if you're working, DoD contracts and you get, okay, what's your desired salary? I usually put about 95,000, and then I get the additional uplifts. Now, if I'm working OGA contracts, you don't have to worry about all that. Everything's taken care of. Right now, this is the first time that I'm actually seeing and I can't say that because I've applied for a lot. But anyways, with the desired salary, go ahead and put annually because it's never going to be hourly. You're going to work 10 or 12 hours. That's it. That is the rate. 12 hours a day shifts with GardaWorld as an ERT guy. You're at 12 hours. So just put annually. I'd go ahead and put 90,000. Select currency type, obviously US dollars. And then do you want to tell us anything else about you? I mean, like I said before, if you have any specialized skills, like hey, you were a paramedic, you've done this, or hey, I'm an EFT advanced certified guy. Okay, I've done this, or hey, I'm a sniper. I was a sniper in the military, and I've done this in the police force, and blah blah blah. Go ahead and throw those specialized skills that pertain to this job because most likely it'll help the recruiters position you in the position that you actually deserve to be put in. But most of the time, the DD-214s and the resume will go ahead and do that for you anyways. So, either ways, go ahead and scroll down, click next. All right, so it's got all your information, review your application. All right, so make sure you review it, guys. All right, don't just go ahead and click and, I'm sorry to insult your intelligence. I know a lot of you guys do have this knowledge and know to do this, but a lot of times, a lot of guys get super excited and they're like, oh man, I'm so excited. Next thing you know, they click next and it processes them through and it's like, oh, well, this resume that I had, that was from 2004. Crap, it's 2018, that kind of stuff. So don't screw yourself out of it. Next thing you know, you're waiting for a phone call or you're waiting for an email and it doesn't go through. All right, so yes, I agree to sign electronically. Okay, then from here, you go ahead, type in your name, and you submit. Voila. So now you've just applied, your resume is in their system. Recruiters are going to sift through that. Computer systems are going to pick up on keywords, and they're going to get that information. From there, now you just go ahead and expect a phone call, or actually go ahead and expect an email. If you're lucky, you'll get a phone call. Most likely, you get a phone call if you have that paramedic, that EMT advanced certification, or if you're a DDM, specialized skills like that, guys that have previous ITI experience, because they're always needing those guys. So, go ahead and expect that. But in the meantime, hey, go ahead and play around with this. Look at the current positions that are open. Go ahead and beef up your profile within GardaWorld. Your application, you can take a look at it. Some, what you've applied for, when you've applied for it. So we'll click on it right now, and you'll see what I'm talking about. There you go. It was submitted. Requisition ID, apply 10/21/2018. Now, guys, this is a golden nugget. All right, I do this with every single contracting company. All right, I straight up, I don't even wait. I'm not going to sit here. All right, I'm hungry. I want to make that money. I want to go overseas. I want to be away from the distractions in the world. And I want to freaking study. I want to get my college education. I want to get my degrees. I want to get my certification. I want to make the most amount of money possible so I can get the heck back home. You know what I'm saying? And then go have some fun. All right. So with that being said, guys, you got the requisition ID 1002, right? You applied 10/21/2018. So what I would do if I was you, and this is what I do, is I actually call the company. So when you call the directory, they're going to be like, hey, welcome to GardaWorld Federal Services. Welcome to whatever it is, their introduction. Be like, hey, I want to talk to a Department of State WIPS recruiter. So they'll be like, okay, roger that. I'll transfer you over. Boom, they'll transfer you over. Once they transfer you over, be like, hey, my name's Kenny Alicea. I've applied for your PSS ERT position. Hey, this is a little bit about my background. I've already applied online. This is my requisition ID number, 1002. I was wondering if, the reason I'm calling you today is because I want to speed up this process. I want to make life easy for you. I qualify for the position. How can we get this ball rolling? Boom, that's it. From there, that recruiter will stop everything that he's doing, pull up your application, and then talk you on. And they'll be like, all right, hey, I'm going to send you an email. These are all the things that we need from you. That right there helps bypass all the waiting time, and it gets you 1 to 2 day or a week or a couple weeks ahead of the curve on anybody else. So you're welcome. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the content of this video. That's how you apply for GardaWorld. I'm going to have additional videos with other companies. Now, again, guys, a lot of these companies I've already worked for, outstanding companies, So I'm going to give you the no crap, the nitty and gritty, the lowdown on what's up with these companies, all right? That way you make the best decision possible for what you want to attain in the future, all right? So God bless. Take care.